I'm not a doctor. This is my disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. This is my very, very, very first personal YouTube video that I'm making. So bear with me. But I just wanted to talk about, what's going on with the COVID-19. A lot of bad things are happening right now. People are dying. And so, I'm watching, the press, and I'm watching Donald Trump, and I'm watching how the Republicans were arguing with the Democrats and the Democrats was arguing with the Republicans. It's crazy right now. A lot of us have already had this, way before it was a name to it. A lot of us has already had this. I remember back in October, I was extremely sick. It was like the Arnold Schwarzenegger of super flus. It was, I felt like an elephant was on my chest. I had a high fever. I could barely move. I couldn't lay down to sleep. I couldn't lay on my side, and I darn sure wasn't going to be laying on my stomach. A little hint, I tried antibiotics. It just made it worse. I tried, anti-inflammatories. It just made it worse. So just a little hint, when I'm looking on the news and I'm seeing Italy having their patients laying on their stomach, and then intubating them. Like I said, I'm not a doctor, but that is not a good idea because, I had to sleep for 3 weeks sitting up. I could not lay down. I literally had to sit up as if I was sitting in a chair. So, another word of advice, again, I'm not a doctor. However, the government or the doctors, they need to test everyone to see who's immune to this, because I would not mind volunteering and going on the front lines and helping, because I honestly feel a lot of us have already had this already. So if you at one point around Christmas time, or even, the beginning of last year, 2019, if you were ever coughing and you had a cold that you just could not shake, it felt like your lungs was on fire, you coughed so much until you, not to be gross, hacked up blood or something, you had the body aches, you had the chills, your fever was 103, you probably already had this, because I'm telling you right now, what they need to do, in my opinion, they need to not only test for people who have the coronavirus, but they also need to test for people who have an immunity to it. Because if you have an immunity to it, you've already had it. And if you've already had it, think of how many of us can save lives and move our, people out of the way who have never had this, that don't have an immunity. Think of how many lives that we can save. I would not mind going on the front lines and volunteering my time. I do not mind doing that. I don't mind doing that. Okay. So, and I'm pretty sure there are a lot of like-minded individuals who have had this virus who don't mind doing the same thing, who really don't mind doing the same thing. So, I just, maybe we should stop fighting, fussing, and arguing, because, excuse my French, but that SHIT is childish. That is so childish. Seeing our leaders fussing and arguing with each other like little kids. It reminded me of that Airball commercial where the people are sitting around at the desk and they're sounding like little children. It tastes all squishy inside. Come on. I don't want to blame China. I don't want to blame South Korea. I don't want to blame anybody. It's here. Pointing the fingers is not going to cure everybody or bring the people who have passed away back. So, literally, come on. Cowboy up, put your big girl panties on or your big boy drawers on, and let's stop arguing. Let's figure this out. Let's figure this out. Let's get these kids back to school. Let's get us back to work. I love my kid. Don't get me wrong. Okay. But come on. Let's get the economy back to moving and going, because we shouldn't be arguing like little kids, like literally. I don't make YouTube videos. I don't, especially I don't. So, this enough. Let's stop playing. Let's take some of that money, take some of the money that we have, from my tax dollars, from America's tax dollars. Let's get some tests that's going to show who has an immunity to it. And let's get some volunteers on that front line and get our people off of that front line who's not immune to it, so that, we can help our people. and stop bickering amongst ourselves. You know, I'm just saying, with peace, much love and respect. Everybody, you know, God bless you. You know, praise God. But come on, you know, that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Okay? Because the other nations are looking at us like, "Oh, look at the Americans. They're freaking out over there." Come on. They're arguing with each other. They're blaming each other. Come on. You know, we're not looking really good right now. We're not. We're not. So, that's all I wanted to say, guys. That's all I wanted to say. Peace.